What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really does mean a lot to me, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Now, the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be a monthly check-in, Sag. You've probably been busy this last month, maybe running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and we're just trying to get your head back attached there. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just good energy all around here, Sag. All right, so we're going to be going until Higher Self says stop. We're just working with the energies here, Sagittarius. And just so you're all aware, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so just take that, apply the energies as they make sense. And then lastly, okay, hold on. The decks that I'm using, I'm about to jump into your reading. The deck that I'm shuffling, in case y'all were curious, the deck that I'm shuffling is the Tarot of the Divine deck. And then the Oracle deck that I'm going to be using is the Anatomy of a Witch deck. And I'll include links for these decks and other decks that I like using down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested there, Sagittarius. But let's, okay, we're jumping into this thing here, because just kind of looking at things right off the bat here, I feel like we're at this place, Sagittarius, where I think it's going to be time for us to possibly start thinking about making a move here and thinking about what it is that we want our world to look like. I feel like hopefully we're in this place of maybe we just got over this could be the devil's, in reverse could be, getting over a number of things. Maybe we've gotten over like a toxic relationship, maybe we're working on our sobriety, however that's looking like for you. I feel like now, if this is something that you've been working on here for however long, Sag, take it as it resonates. I feel like it may be time to really start, really kind of start repainting your world again. Because maybe this was something where in the past, whatever the situation that went down, maybe it was something that had painted our world there for a while. Like let's say, for example, if let's say drinking was our jam, and I find that sometimes, especially with how celebrated drinking can be, if we're trying to, maybe back in the day, it was like you were like the party animal, and sometimes when we get dubbed that moniker, sometimes we lean into it a little bit too much, and we let that become like our whole identity. And I feel like that's something where it's time to redefine your identity here, Sagittarius, if that's resonating with you. Because even when I'm thinking too, if this was like, maybe this was like, some kind of crazy relationship in the past where maybe someone wasn't so kind to us, things might not have worked out like it should have, or, like it could have. Whatever it was, sometimes I feel like we have a tendency to really let those situations kind of define us and let that be the flag that we bear. But I feel like with the Judgment card popping up in reverse here, I feel like this is showing that you have a choice to move on to this world, to this world here, but we have to want to take that ascent, to move on to that next level here. And I feel like for some of us, maybe I'm getting a couple things with this Judgment. Maybe for some, maybe we feel like it's something that we're working on right now, or maybe for some others, maybe we don't believe that we can, that we can move on to this thing. And for both, I feel like you totally can. The fact that they're here, because here's the thing too, if we're getting over whatever, any kind of, let's say this could be, cigarettes, for example, just because we've gotten over it, we've made it a decision that we're going to move forward, that doesn't change the fact that even though we personally might have quit smoking, we can go walk down the street and you might see 10 other people smoking. The challenge, the temptation is always going to be there. And that's not to deter you from your journey, because sometimes I think too, when we get on a roll, and let's say on the off chance we might fall off the wagon, let's say maybe we bum a hit from someone, maybe you're feeling like the craving is just like one of those you can't, like it's just like, like let me just get a couple hits, and then you do it, you regret it, and then it's just like, crap, now I shouldn't have done that. Well, you know what, since I already did it, maybe I'll just get a pack. It can get to where, if we're not realistic with this devil, that's it can get it to where the world can seem out of our grasp here. But that whole thing to say there, Sag, is that whatever it is that you're working on, it's going to be something that, yes, is going to be a process, but it doesn't have to be a nightmare. It doesn't have to be where it runs your mind all the time. Because this could be something where, if we're really struggling with something, replacing that habit with a different type of thing. There was, for example, a little bit about me, and, used to, back in my, food and beverage days, the only way that you can get, at least, especially when I was younger, it was one of those, if you wanted a break, usually the non-smokers, it was like a battle to try to get a break. But then the smokers, it's like they could take like 5, 10, 20 breaks throughout a shift. And it's just like, what the F? So then what do? What did I do? Picked it up and made it a thing. And it was a thing kind of on and off for a while. But then when I finally decided to quit, I had, hold on there, Sag. There was this app that I have, and it's still keeping track now. I'm probably, I don't know how long it's been, but it'll keep track of how many years, how many hours, how many minutes, and even how many seconds it's been since your last cigarette, and it'll let you know, like, it'll let you put in like your norm, or whatever your normal amount was, and it'll let you see like how many you haven't smoked. It's a really cool app, and it just, that whole thing to say, when we're dealing with stuff like that, finding different exercises to maybe keep us motivated with that stuff. Because sometimes too, people, like when they'll say like quit smoking, they're like, well, why don't you try working out, or try eating stuff? Because here's the thing with that, you got to do what works for you. I remember, quitting cold turkey a couple of times, and usually when I did that worked for, like a good spell, but it was something that it's like, you got to make this work for you, Sagittarius. I feel like this is going to be wisdom. It's something where you're going to learn how your body responds to different situations and stuff as you go on this journey here. So, I feel like in order to get to this growth, don't let this thing become where it keeps you in a cage, or it keeps you locked up, or it feels like you can't grow. I feel like take the wisdom from these situations here. Be analytical with this, and be, observe. It's just like, okay, I'm having a craving right now. What that's about. It could be, with whatever. And, if this was something with the relationship, that one might be a little bit trickier. And I feel like that's one where, this is not medical advice, but I feel like if you have like a good friends, maybe a good like kind of good team that you can kind of lean on while you're processing through this stuff. Because sometimes too, even when we move on from a relationship, if we're dealing with this by ourselves, like sometimes, like maybe that person might, if we haven't blocked them, maybe they'll try to like blow up your phone with texts and things, or try and calling you. Then we start doubting ourselves, and, it can become a whole thing. So, maybe check in to see if we have any people close to us, maybe people in our soul tribe who can kind of support us, or maybe seeking professional help, because there's nothing wrong with that. It's, if we need a little extra assistance in getting us back to the norm, just feeling normal again, because I think sometimes too, when we're thinking about healing and stuff, people are just like, are you happy yet? Are you good yet? Like, what's going on? Why aren't you all, it's like day 2. Why aren't you all geeked up and pumped? Well, one, because it's day 2, and I'm fiending like a mad person. But I feel like let's maybe even what we're telling ourselves is like, it's not even about getting good right now. It's like, let's just get back to where we're feeling regular again, where we're just like, I hope that makes sense, more. I feel like that this is going to be a month of redefining yourself here, Sagittarius, and it doesn't necessarily even just, I know I keep saying that, it doesn't have to be just the addiction. Maybe this is something too, this could be like a confidence thing. Maybe we're at this type right now, maybe we don't feel like, let's say if we want to become like the next CEO of something, and maybe we're at this place because this is in the devil's wheelhouse too. When we tell ourselves like, oh, I don't possibly have like the knowledge or the know-how or maybe the drive or the focus to be this, or whatever excuse we might tell ourselves, that may be something too, shaping a new inner world for ourselves as well here, Sagittarius, because if our inner world is in a place of lack of confidence, nothing's going to come for you, we can't possibly get over this thing, or whatever this is, you can't possibly achieve this, whatever greatness you're trying to do, then that's what's going to reflect outward, It really is a matter of thoughts. Thoughts become things, and words are powerful. So really be mindful, what we're cooking up this month. And I feel like some affirmations might help. Yeah. Be mindful of what we might tell ourselves. And you know what too? Be mindful if people in our environments, aren't supporting our growth, because when we're dealing with addiction or lack of self-esteem, or trying to find, maybe getting out of like some kind of weird relationship thing, we want people there that are going to lift us up, not take advantage of us, or, try to, and not that I'm not even sure how that would happen, but just making sure that the appropriate boundaries are up as well when we're dealing with, when we're in this space here. And if people aren't respecting that, then to address that, because we don't want to get to this place of where we're regressing back here. We don't want to be her. This person can go take a hike. And it's not like I feel like that even something where you have to like cut people off. But it's, because maybe this person might even, how do I want to put this? I think I'm just going to leave that there, Sagittarius, as far as like the boundaries, Yeah. I just knocked that off this card off a little bit. So I was like, yeah, we're taking this one too. And you got the 5 of Cups here. And not even just and I like that, letting go, not even just of people, but of things that just make us feel bad. I really feel like that I'm looking at these 5s here. 5 in numerology, I've been doing a whole bunch of studying, and it's like my head's all over the place, but this is one that's definitely sticks. The 5s in numerology, they're a number of change and a number of freedom. And I feel like it's just like, it's all this stuff here is going to, when we really get this knowledge, is going to unlock in you in a way that I feel like is going to be just so rewarding. And I really feel like almost like Jupiter level type of reward here, considering that's your ruler. But, any more? Yeah, let's see what else is going on here. Yeah, I think that this is going to be a really good month for of growth for you. You know, if we've been dealing with a lot of stuff in the past. Excuse me. The Empress showed up. And you know what? Here's something that might kind of lift your spirits up here, Sagittarius. Let's take a break, because the Empress, a little bit about me. I couldn't tell you why, but for some reason, my very first deck was the Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck, and the Empress. Something about the Empress, and I don't even remember where it started, but her and I just bonded right off the bat. You know, just the energies there. I can't explain it, but we have one of the tightest, if not the tightest, relationships. And every time she pops up, especially when she pops up upright, I am with it, because this is what I feel like you're getting ready to transform into here, Sag, is an Empress. Let's get back to your reading here, because I was just like, all right, I need to come down from that, because I was like, man, I was talking so calm, and then I probably just blew an eardrum out there. So apologies for that. I might have to get like an Empress mic. Nature my problem, girl. Nature of our problem. The Empress is, let's start over. I feel like this is where you're growing up to be, Sagittarius. This is where you're going to be. This is where your world is coming. Because when we're going through something like this, of when we're dealing with vices, you know, when we possibly might be dealing with feelings, dealing with dealing with people, dealing with emotions, you know, this is something where we're really going to want to nurture ourselves, you know, and really show ourselves love and kindness and compassion. You see the Empress there? It's about finding that inner peace, you know, and really self growth and in finding, because when I say the Empress is abundance, you know, yes, she's abundant in the sense of like, yes, the Empress can make it rain. But I feel like the Empress is about really discovering that abundance within. Because when you Empress and you feel like an Empress, you know, feeling at your best, you know, we've self-cared, we've cleaned ourselves up, and not that I'm saying you're dirty, Sag, but you know, it's like we've cleaned ourselves up, you know, maybe we've gotten the body back, we're getting back to that, you know, normalcy, and we're feeling in our energies, you know, feeling at a higher vibration. That's when we can Emperor and step out there and start doing the good work, start creating our world, and start, you know, leading by example to show other people how they can manifest their world here. But it does, the Empress energy is super important. You know, it's just as vital as the Emperor. You know, I think that sometimes, you know, possibly that people could think that with the Empress, it's all about just kind of like sitting pretty and letting you know, taking care of yourself and just, you know, getting your nails done and letting abundance comes in. No, because here's the thing. Imagine you just got out of bed, first thing, got out of bed and just went and just started life. Went outside, went to your job, went to go see your friends. You're like, oh, I gotta first brush my teeth. I gotta, you know, get a comb through my hair, wash my face. That's Empress. That's Empress stuff. We can't do anything properly until we Empress. And so that's where I feel like that's where it's going to come in for you. That's, I feel like, might be the missing piece to this ascension here. What's going to unlock this judgment here is just a little Venus energy here, just pouring all of that into there anymore. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, pouring that Venus energy into yourself here, you know, and two, and not even just in yourself, you know, start here and then check your environment as well. Check your home space, your safe space, because, you know, outside of this space, you know, the one in you check your safe space and make sure that that's clean. You know, it's because it's one thing for your place to feel lived in. It's another if it's a complete mess. And you know, I get if you're the type where it's like, well, Justin, I thrive in chaos. I get that, but here's the thing. Would you invite someone here's where I feel like where I'm saying where you should get your place, you know? You want to be it's a tough one here, Sag, because I feel like if we want to attract like growth and to not feel so cluttered inside, you know, to kind of like start making space for new transformative energy, it's about, you know, cleaning up house inside and outside. And, you know, if our environment is reflecting a healthy you, then that's just going to help. It's like reciprocity with your environment. You know what I mean? How you collaborate at home, you know, like it's important, and it all factors into the grand scheme of things. That we take these little steps, you know, like maybe start like making your bed in the morning, or if you got like a, you know, sink of dishes, you know, cleaning the dishes, you know, maybe sweeping the floors, and it's not like I say you got to go and do like a whole like crazy chore day, but just like maybe some little light things, you know, just like maybe some straightening thing up if your environment has suffered, you know, because I know that sometimes going through situations like this, you may not realize it when you're in that moment, but sometimes when we start getting on the other side of it, it's hard, you know, where we might find some like residual resistance is looking around. So just something to keep in mind as well, you know. And I think too, last thing, you know, the Empress she rules over, this is Venus, and Venus rules over Libra and Taurus. And I think when I think about like Taurus energy, you know, Taurus I feel like is very much about, yeah, they're about material things and whatnots, but I feel like it's all good stuff here too. I feel like they're very much rooted in the home. Like, I know that's like, stay with me. You know, I feel like it's treating you just really, really, I hope this is making sense. You know, I really feel like it's just like treating your environment with the same type of love too that you treat yourself as well, Sagittarius. But I'm gonna move on from that because I'm word salad at you. Let's get to some oracle cards here and kind of wrap this reading up here, because really this is a really nice reading, Sagittarius, and I feel like this is one of where a lot of healing can be done here, and a lot of growth, and really just like I was saying, you know, really redefining, you know, how you might have been feeling about yourself if you haven't been feeling at your best here as of late. You know, that's I like that. And you know, when I think of the world too, this is represented by Saturn, and how funny too. You got the devil here. Saturn rules Capricorn. This is Capricorn's energy. But when I think about Saturn energy, you know, Saturn is about the planet of restrictions. And I feel like it's when we think about the world, it's about what ways have we been restricting ourselves, and what ways have we not, in what ways haven't we unlocked? You know, I feel like there are different channels for us that are wanting to get tapped into, you know, so that you can get the most out of your journey here. And that's why I feel like this awake in the reverse here is in awake in reverse card here. Whew, say that 10 times fast. You probably can. But I feel like that it's really about unlocking that potential in you, and realizing that that thing that might have felt like it was holding you down, that it might have got you kind of locked up here, that it doesn't have that type of power over you. And I feel like when you unlock that, that's when that wisdom really starts coming through. Your King of Swords really starts shining. Any more in here? Yeah, let's see what else is here. Yeah, Sagittarius. Wow, look at that. we got the death in reverse here. And any more here? Okay. You know, so we're done with the oracle cards. Let's switch back over here, Sag. Because with the death card popping up, you know, this is the first time this card has popped up in this deck. But I feel like with this, it's like where I was talking about kind of earlier with where are we, how are we channeling our energy? Are we feeding it into this doom and gloom and that we're not going to grow and that everything kind of sucks and, you know, that you can't possibly grow from this thing? Are we going to keep ourselves in that kind of box here, stay in that nightmare state? Or are we going to learn from this situation here and use these lessons as fuel to grow something brand new, to become a mighty tree? You know what I mean? Because this card indicates here that even from something, you know, even as as morbid or as scary, as taboo as death could be, look at what life can come from the Sagittarius. You know, it can be a whole different experience. And it's just, where do you want to stay? You know, we can stay in this place as long as you need to. And you know, Sagittarius, you're not going to be alone there. You know, I may not be there with you physically, but spiritually, you know, I'm going to kick it with you until you are ready to move out of this space and, you know, to help grow. I'm going to be there for you. But it's just like realizing that, you know, just like no one else can tell you what to do, I can't tell you what to do. All I can do is kind of root you on, and, you know, the Empress and I, no, you have the dopest cheering squad. The Empress and I, we are going to root you on aggressively. And Sagittarius, I've been all over the place with this reading. Beauty is coming, and I hope you've been able to follow me. And I think, too, I'm hoping that with this laughter and stuff, like, hopefully, if, you know, we haven't been feeling in a good place, that maybe this at least get you. The Empress and I just want you to feel a little bit better. You know, if we have been feeling kind of down in the dumps here as of late, or, you know, maybe we're in like the low end of like a healing. Because, you know, sometimes when we're getting over these vices, you know, they come in waves. You know, we got our good days, and then sometimes it's just like, oh, what happened? Oh, crap, I'm feeling my confidence is down. I'm feeling cravings. What's going on here? You know, but yeah, again, Sag, something beautiful can come from that. So I think I'm going to leave that there. You know, this is, you know, when we start talking about addictions and stuff, you know, it can be kind of a tricky realm. And no matter how that looks, you know, addiction, it can cover such a broad sense. And, you know, it really is, you know, when we get, you know, if we get caught up in something like that, it's not really meant to keep us down. You know, the devil really is trying to show us areas where we can refine and where we can grow and help others grow. Because here's another thing, too. You know, when you get through this, Sagittarius, because you will, when you get through this, I like to bring up the fact, too, that maybe some of us might think that, man, I wish I would have had someone to help me kind of guide along through this situation here. And, you know, if someone else comes along in your world who might be going through this here, maybe you can be that person for them, you know? Like, this doesn't just have to be where it's like you feel like you might have got the short end of the stick. You can be an empress. You know, you can go out there and spread that energy too, and be someone's cheerleader. And now look, our cheering section is growing. Brilliant. Did I say I'm leaving it there? Give it a thumbs up, Sagittarius. I think I did. Give a thumbs up and share this thing. You know, if we know someone who might be resonating with this, because this can be tough energy. Yeah, share this thing, Sagittarius. Let's help raise that vibration some. And then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placement or Or maybe, maybe someone in your support group is a Cancer. This guy is. Check out the Chariot and Friends. If you just want to understand how we tick and why we get so geeked up about the Empress, that's definitely a me thing. But yeah, check out the Chariot and Friends. We discuss everything Cancerian, just talk about lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time, and all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here. Wow. So wow. So we got the Death card. And for your Oracle card, we got the Solstice. So this is brilliant. You are in a transformative period right now. The Oracle and the Tarot have agreed. This is a transformative time for you. If there are any things that are holding us back, that are lowering our vibrations, that it makes sense to start letting go, Sagittarius, I feel like start taking steps towards that thing. I feel like if you want to wait till when the solstice starts, that's kind of far. But so I was just thinking, I think we're coming up. No, that's the equinox that's coming up. Yeah, so I feel like let this be your solstice. Start this thing right now. I feel like right now we're in the dark right now. And we want to transform just like that Death card. We want to go bring some light on this situation here, bring some growth. This could be something too, now that I'm looking at this. If we live in the city, let's say, that's a lot of energies to be around in. But maybe some of us might benefit from, if you can, maybe taking like a weekend, or next time you have days off, or if you got some PTO or whatever, get out in some nature. Maybe go. Yeah, just kind of be, maybe, get some sun, be amongst the trees, breathe some fresh air, just something. Because while I was talking about all that stuff in your space, maybe that's something too. Maybe we've been too much in our space and in that energy. And it may be time to get out of that so that we can come back in and breathe some freshness into our space. And maybe that's what I was trying to get at too with the Empress. Maybe that's something as well, when we kind of go through, give your place a cleanse, because depending on how long you've been in dealing with this thing, your place picks up that energy. Maybe get yourself some incense, perhaps, maybe light a candle, maybe just something to kind of breathe some freshness into your place as well. Maybe crack some windows open, weather permitting, if it's nice out. Just anything to kind of help facilitate some growth and and really some transformation here, Sag. You really, this on top of the Judgment here, it's going to be splendid, really. And I think this is how we're going to come out of this. I think you're going to come out feeling really good, Sagittarius. So I'm going to leave that there. Don't fear the transformation. Embrace it. It's going to get you in a good place. So stay safe out there, dealing with these types of energies. Be safe, be mindful, and be compassionate, And then, I hate to jump into this real quick because I just thought about it. Sagittarius, if you're dealing with someone, because maybe this isn't you, maybe this is someone close to you who's in your sphere here. That literally just dawned on me. If this is someone that don't take on more than you're willing to take on, or that you feel like you can handle. Be safe and be mindful with that as well. When it comes to addiction, we want to be compassionate and be there for this person, but if we get into this place where it's like you can't, or if it gets too much, then level with that person. Be like, hey, this is not me giving up on you. I just need some time to recharge as well, because we're both dealing with, on top of my own personal things, taking on this can be a lot too. And it's tough, that's, I wish I would have thought of that a little bit sooner. But, if you're dealing with someone, be as compassionate as you can, never force yourself to do something that you feel like you can't do, because if you can't help this person, or if you feel like you don't have the tools to help this person, but we still try, we're going to get into this place of frustration, and then everyone's spiraling, and then there's no type of healing getting done. So help as it makes sense. If we need assistance, get assistance, but, let's not make it to where I feel like we're not ambushing this person as well, discuss this with them, see how they feel about the idea, if this is someone that I feel like you're willing to work with, and, I take it as it resonates, I guess I'll leave that there. But yeah, stay safe out there. And when it comes to the vibration, I'll give you a couple options, since I just thought about that at the end. If you can raise that vibration through the roof, go for it. If you need a little assistance, I got you. This is me putting your arm around me, helping you up there, Sagittarius. We're going to get through this thing together here. And I hope you feel that. When I do that, I really mean that. That's because that's something where it means a lot to me, that when we get into energies like this. So, I definitely want to make sure I try to be very mindful when I talk about it, just in general, but really in addictive space like that. But, okay, I'm just going to keep you here. And then what's left? Oh, I guess getting out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Whatever, Sagittarius, we're not going to be we're not going to be formal. I love the chat. Thank you for bringing the energy. Stay safe out there. Keep raising that vibration. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one later.